Hi, thanks for joining me. This is Real Estate 101. I'm Karey Brown and I'm with eXp Realty. And today I'm here with Tina Klassen. Tina owns the Lumber Woman and Co. Um, so she is here in Topeka, but you actually do pieces all over, correct?
Yes, I have. I've been able to do a lot of it's online, so I've been able to do pieces from all over the United States.
Which is really awesome. I can't wait for you guys to see her work. So how I met Tina was on Facebook. I saw her pictures that she was posting and I was like, oh, I want to do that. But I wanted to do it for my husband's office. My husband and I own Brown's Tree Service, which obviously is a tree service. And he has a new office and just really wanted to make it unique. And just fun, but I also wanted to do stuff for our house because obviously if you own a tree service, shouldn't you have wood in your house? So anyway, messaged Tina and she said, yeah, I'll show you how. And she did, and she's really awesome. And then it turns out I'm allergic to the stuff that you used, the epoxy, and broke out in hives and all kinds of crazy stuff. And she had to rescue me and finish up. But the pieces that she does, they're absolutely gorgeous. So she does all kinds of unique, original furniture. So Tina's going to show us around. But first, I want you to tell them about you and how you got started.
I got started. It was a sycamore tree in our backyard. It had to be cut down. It's just too close to the house. Lost a limb, and those are just huge. And so we cut it down. But then kind of a crazy thing happened is our little old neighbors that have been in that neighborhood forever were really sad. And you could almost just see that they were so disappointed that the tree had to come down. I felt why.
So obviously we were just having some technical difficulties. The building that Tina's in is cinder block and, obviously getting signal is not always the greatest. So she's just going to pick up where she left off.
Yes. No, we had the sycamore cut down. I noticed our little neighbor were very sad. And so I was trying to figure out different ways to kind of preserve it in a way. And so then I ended up contacting Tom the Sawyer. He's in Eudora, and he finally agreed to come and take a look, and then he milled it for us. And then I did not realize, because sycamore is more of a soft wood, so he was very, very leery about us using it for the tree house. So then I was like, oh my gosh, well, what else do I do with this? But then we turned it into wood floors and then had our little neighbors come over so they could see it. And it was that's kind of when I decided it was definitely something to keep approaching, like as far as not just selling the wood, but making things out of it. That the trees that had to come down. And so a lot of the other neighbors, if they had trees that had to be cut down, they would ask if I wanted it. And if they had family that then wanted a piece, I always, after I milled it, they would get the first rights to it. And there's been several neighbors then that have bought from me to have the piece from what their dad planted or their grandpa planted to be in their house. So that's kind of was what just ended up guiding me to continue doing this.
And so now that's whenever I first met you. You were still working another job, but now this is totally full time for you.
Yes. In September, I quit that. I was their Target for 17 years. So at this point, I'm just doing this full time. Not sure, I'm just enjoying the ride, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. I've got a lot of other logs that are currently being milled off-site, and I'll be getting those in. I'm also working on getting a mill here for the future for myself, and then hopefully being able to use that for other people. They can bring a log in and I can get it milled for them, and then they can take it and hopefully continue to create more beautiful furniture. So use it different than mulch.
Layman's terms here, what does mill mean?
Oh, yeah. So when we mill it, it's basically they're turning them into slabs. And I like to have all mine at 3 inches thick, which is pretty thick, but I also finish it so it's different because you can, after the wood dries, there's a lot of movement. And so you could, it might go down to 1.5 to 2 inches of surfacing. So of leveling it off and getting it ready to finish.
So every once in a while you might hear a slight bark. That is my puggle. Her name is Calliope. She sits at my feet while I do this. She's really cute. If you follow me on social media at all, she's the fourth child. So anyway, that's her. Okay, so Tina, do you want to show us around your shop?
Yeah, I'd love to. So here is the main shop area. This is going to be where I should see more of my finishing, where I have the epoxy and like some of the smaller pieces and some finished pieces available. Make sure I get everybody. Let's see what I have. So there's just different types of wood: cottonwood, hickory, elm. These are elm cookie cuts. These are 165 years old. And then here is another really cool looking elm that I think.
Awesome.
And then this is the one that I'm finishing up here. This is a large cookie cut walnut. And then this is a linden, and it's going to have bullets in it. So that's for my dad. And then this is all the different epoxy. And then here's like different other pieces that I finished: the river table, and then 2 living room. Basically, it's supposed to be a living room coffee tables, 2 of those.
Gotcha.
And then we'll go into the dirty work area. So this is the reason where I charge what I do, not just the epoxy, but definitely when you have to level these are the guys like I surface. And I'm trying not to shake too much, but yeah. So you can see there's such a big gap. So by the time you level it off where it was 3 inches, it's probably going to be 1.5 to 2 inches. And that's just a lot of dust. So of course, trying to have some of the safety equipment wise, or, so to help with breathing. And then that's my router sled. And then over here, just, some of the tools that I have, nothing fancy, but it does the job. And then back here, I have the kiln is back there. So that dries the wood for us. And then I have some more slabs or some more cookie cuts, some different walnuts, some hollows, a big elm in the back. And that's pretty much it. I have a lot of logs and a lot more cut that's outside that I'm hoping I'll get in here and dry and make some more pieces out of them.
So we should talk about the wood that you use. You mentioned that it had to be cut down. So you want to elaborate on that, because some people are really upset whenever you cut down a tree, and you're not just cutting them down to cut them down.
No, I am very big on when I started this, that was the deal. I wanted to keep it going. So when I make these pieces of furniture, I expect them to last you 50 to 100 years. I mean, this is not just a year or two. You have 2 inches of wood to change your mind on what coating you want every year if you need to. And then so it's the same thing. It's just when these trees are like the bug infestations, the windstorms, lightning, they have to come down. And that's the trees that I personally want. I don't want you to just go out there and think you're going to make a lot of money just cutting them down. And you maybe can, but that's not the right reason to be doing it to me. But no, all of this is to, I guess this is something I hope in 100 years people can still look at the table or the grandkids and be like, oh, this is really neat. Who made this?
Yeah. And great grandpa planted this, and I got eaten up by something, which is really, I think it's the coolest wood is the stuff that's been eaten by something.
Yes.
Or has, like, when it had been cabled, So we had purchased a couple of pieces for our bathrooms at the office, and they had metal cables that had grown into it. So there's like metal flecks in the wood.
Right. Yeah.
So we keep finding that there's a little bit of a technical difficulty. So we're going to kind of wrap it up. Tina, how can they find you if they want to have some pieces done?
On my Facebook page, that's kind of the biggest key way to get a hold of me if you message me. And then also next week, I am going to be starting to have hours where I should try to be up here between like 12 to 6 on Wednesday and Thursday. And you can always free to call or text message as well. And all the information is on the Facebook page. It's also Instagram. I have that. I've started some TikTok videos that have been fun. And then yeah, there's definitely different ways. My store neighbor, he always has a business card available. And then I will do still like through the rest of the days, I'm going to do by appointments and continue on with that as well. But definitely Facebook messaging is the way to go as far as getting a hold of me and me responding the fastest.
And Facebook, is that under the Lumber Woman and Co., or is that under Tina, or?
Yeah, it's the Lumber Woman and Company. Yes, correct.
And your address?
It's 1209 North Kansas Avenue, Suite A. We're close to Nodo, so it's definitely, we're about 2 blocks north of them. So.
And if you're looking to buy or sell, or if you want me to hunt down Tina for you, my number is 785-213-5188. Thanks for joining us on Real Estate 101.
Thank you.